Glad to be here. Hey,
Good
hey
morning, Eleanor
guys.
from Morganville, Louisiana.
Hey, Eleanor, my girl. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, guys, I'm about to mute everybody's already been muted out. It's just taking its time. But I want to get ready um, to bring on our speaker today. My name is Phyllis Nash. I am your Chief Sales Officer here with Connor, one of the 4 co-founders. And this is a Wednesday morning. And what happens on Wednesday? We get to take notes and learn motivational skills and take stuff down and go apply it by none other than our own VP of training, Coach Dan, otherwise known as Pastor Dan. Are you out there waiting to teach? Hope you guys got paper and pen. Be prepared.
Good morning.
Hey. Welcome to the line.
Hey, what does it feel like, Miss Phyllis, to be absolutely fantabulously amazing?
You should know. That's how all our kind of entrepreneurs are. So we all should feel blessed by the best.
All right, blessed by the best. And we know that God is the best, and He gives us all things to enjoy. And He gives us every gift and talent we believe comes from above. Now,
yes.
Guess what? Today is May the 25th. That means we have about 6 days left before the month ends. And the question that I have this morning is simply, are you hungry? That's the question. That's the question. Are you hungry? What I realized as a young man growing up, I had moments of homelessness. I had moments where I would go weeks without food. And it was not until I made a conscious decision that I was not going to be hungry again. Or really, it was not until I made a conscious decision to go eat. It's not until I made that decision that I was never hungry again. And the truth of the matter is, I want to know, are you hungry? And I want to know, what are you hungry for? We talked about, I believe it was last Wednesday, we had a candid dialogue and questions and answers about understanding our business, understanding what are our top products as an individual dispensary that we sell the most, identifying our frequent customers that is buying product from us on a consistent basis, understanding the CV of the product that we have, because we're going after that 1,000 CV by the end of this month. And now we have 6 days left. And sometimes when you're not hungry enough, you don't go after it as much as you should, and you wind up not eating. So I remember I went 2 weeks without food. 2 weeks without food. And if I had food, it was very scarce. And when I went through that process, I remember asking myself, are you hungry? Because, and I was talking to myself, y'all. Coach Dan said, are you hungry? And I replied and said, well, yes, I'm hungry. And then I told myself to go eat. And I really didn't know what that meant, but I understood at that moment that I had to do something different than what I was doing. And I had to put myself in position to go and eat so I wouldn't be hungry. So what did I do? The first part, we're going to use EAT as an acronym. The E is to engage. I had to identify those activities or identify those resources or identify those jobs that was available to me, and I had to engage them without fail, without fear of rejection, without fear of being told no, without fear of failure. I had to engage those activities in order. Watch this, I already gave you the A. Engage. The A is activities. What activities? Well, I've been coaching somebody from Wakanda, and I gave them some activities, and they began to increase their activity level. They increased how many customers, existing customers that they would call on a consistent basis. They increased how many new customers they were going to go after on a consistent basis. They increased strategy for identifying additional networks that they can join. And so if you're going to engage, you're going to have to also become more active. And you got to become active in those areas that's going to produce for you at the highest level of effectiveness and efficiency. And guess what we had to do? And when I decided to go eat, I had to engage in activities, y'all, today. Today. Why? Because I could not wait till tomorrow. Because I'm hungry today. Somebody asked me a question. They said, Coach Dan, when, if I introduce Wakanda to someone, and after introducing Wakanda to someone, and they show interest, should I A, get the money and try to close them today, or should I B, try to wait until they can join a call, or wait until I can get them to the dispensary to do a bio scan? Which one should I do? I said, when do you want to eat? When do you want to get paid? And they said, today. If you're going to go, if you are really hungry, you got to go eat. You got to engage in activity today. And the reason why many of us don't reach our goals is because what we wind up doing is we wait to the last minute. And when we get to the last minute, what we planned didn't work out the way we thought we would, and we wind up missing the opportunity. It wasn't that we couldn't achieve the goal. It wasn't that we couldn't have been successful. It was that we waited to the last minute. There was no urgency in feeding our. If you are hungry, you have to create a certain level of urgency, and you got to move, not tomorrow. Let me tell you something. When you are hungry and when you are tired of being in a position where you are, it's something that you must do. And to where you're trying to move with urgency. You cannot watch this. You at the same pace you stuck in the first place. Some of us, we haven't reached our goals, but we're moving at the same pace. There's no urgency. Some of us are hungry, but we haven't increased our level or accelerated our levels of activity. Some of us are hungry, but we're continuously doing the same thing, expecting a different result. You must become active in your business. You must become active in your back office. You must become active with your existing customers. You must become active with your existing team builders. You will not be able to eat if you do not become more active. What did you do, Coach Dan? I started putting fillers out everywhere. I wound up getting a job at UPS. I worked UPS, the shift where I get off. I worked at 10 o'clock, got off at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I went home and I got a paper route. Y'all. And I didn't get no sleep. And I had the paper route. And I was delivering papers and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm working at UPS. I'm delivering papers. And then during the early part of the evening, I said it got to be something else I can do. because I was hungry. And so what I decided to do at that moment was I got a what do you call it? I got a courier's job because I went downtown one day and I got lost, and I was frustrated because I was driving around downtown and I got lost in a circle for about 45 minutes downtown because I didn't know my streets. I didn't know north, south, east, or west. And I said, what is it else that I could do that can generate some income real quick? And what else is it that I can do that will put me in a position where I can learn the city? And then I heard about a courier's job. And I heard that a courier's job is where you deliver packages from place to place, and you got to learn the city. Back then, you didn't have Google Maps. You didn't have all of that stuff. You had to be able to read a map. And so I learned how to read a map, and I took that job. And before you know it, I started eating again. I need y'all to understand that. I started eating again. With 3 jobs, I started eating because I was hungry. So I engaged different areas. I increased my activity, and I moved with a certain urgency because I wanted to eat that day. Here's the next piece I share with you as I get ready to close. Before I got back in the MLM industry, I was doing okay in business. The key word is okay. Wasn't where, yeah, I was doing okay in business, but there was months where I couldn't cash my checks. There was months where my personal bills couldn't get paid for the sake of the business. And I never forget this moment. I never forget it was getting real rough. And one of my neighbors invited me to his home. And when he invited me to his home, he did this energy presentation. And to be honest, my car note was due. All code, and my car note was about $400 some odd. And that's all I had left. And he said that the investment into this business was $269. And I went back and forth. I said I'm hungry. But here's the question. If I don't do something different, if I pay the car note to make certain it's on time, then there's a great possibility I'll be in the same situation I'm in this time next month. So as I deliberated with myself, I talked to myself, y'all. See, I dealt with mental health issues and all of that stuff before we really started watching it. So Coach Dan been talking to himself for a little while. So if y'all ever see me mumbling, don't worry about it. I'm good. But the reality is this. I started talking to myself, and I said, if I don't do something different, if I don't engage in something different, if I don't increase my activity, and if I don't do it today, 30 days later, I'll still be in the same spot that I'm in right now. So I made a decision not to pay my car notes. I made a decision to invest in that particular business, that MLM, and I tripled my earnings. I tripled what I would have, what my car note was in the first 30 days. And then the rest is history. But I had to make a decision to go and eat. If you are hungry, you got to make a decision to go eat. You got to make a decision to engage in more opportunities for yourself. You got to make a decision to increase your activity. And you got to make a decision to do it today, to move with urgency. I don't know where you guys are as it pertains to achieving that 1,000 CB goal for the end of this month. I have no idea where you are. I don't know where you are as it pertains to achieving the next ranking that you're looking for this month. I have no idea. But one thing I know for certain is that if you are hungry and if you make a decision to go and eat, you will be fed. One thing I know for certain, if you are hungry and you continue to do the same thing at the same pace, hoping for a different result, you're going to continue to live in a realm of famine. Wakanda Nation, we got about 6 days left in the month. It's time to go and eat. I trust and pray that this not only has been motivational, inspirational, but it gave you a few pointers that you can take away from today and begin to engage at another level of activity so that you can see yourself where you desire to be tomorrow. All right? Listen, tonight we got our training at 6:30 p.m. So we want all hands on deck. Again, what I see is that those that are committing to the training and are coming to the training are those that are becoming more successful. And that's not only this training on Wednesday nights, but training throughout the week that is made available to all parties of the Wakanda Nation. And so let's go get it. Matter of fact, let's go eat. Back to you, Miss Phyllis.
I just say you dropped the mic. So with that being said, go out and have a Wakanda kind of day. Be back this evening at 6:30. Bye now. Let your teammates know they need to be there too.